Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I'm going to be doing this 368 piece Ravensburger escape puzzle. I'm very excited for it, and as you can see, the difficulty level, the actual puzzle is only a 3 out of 5, but the mystery is a 4 out of 5, so it's going to be difficult to solve. Stick around and see how I do. I love escape rooms, so I had to buy this puzzle as soon as I saw it. We'll see how it stacks up. Let's check out what's in this box. So there's a puzzle bag. This is where all the puzzle pieces are, and they're really big. They're really big puzzle pieces. There is an envelope, and I think this might be the answer to the puzzle. So I'm not gonna open this yet. We're gonna open it at the end. And then finally, there's this little booklet, and this is where the story is, I'm guessing. Yes. The laboratory. Another sleepless night in the lab. Your colleagues have long since left for the evening, yet you press on. It's been weeks since you had a good rest, all in an effort to have the vaccine developed to finally eradicate the deadly disease. Just a few more hours of tests tonight. Your work will save millions. In a daze, you reach for a syringe to transfer a sample. In your sleep-deprived state, your hand slips and the needle pierces your skin. Oh. You've injected yourself with the disease. With shaking hands and blurry vision, the disease is quickly working through your body. No time for more tests. You need to finalize the vaccine and use it on yourself. Okay, that was very dramatic. I liked it. That was a really cool introduction to it. So we're not only escaping, we're escaping a whole disease over here and saving millions by getting the vaccine figured out. Time to start. Now it is time to put the puzzle together and watch your image emerge. The rectangle pieces in the bag are not a part of the puzzle and can be discarded. Good to know. When you have finished, look for the riddles hidden in the puzzle to save the greenhouse plants. Okay, that's very interesting. There might be a typo, I don't know, or maybe it's a clue. Good luck. The image on the package is different from the actual puzzle. That's cool, so it's gonna be different. 6 mysteries are hidden within the puzzle for you to solve. Okay, so we have to remember that there's 6 different things we're gonna have to solve on this puzzle, plus the actual puzzle. Tips for finding the answer. Pay attention to the edges. Okay, so we're gonna note there, now we know that there's some sort of edge pieces that we're gonna be looking into. Okay. If you get stuck, you can find help here, and there's a barcode that we can scan, and I'm gonna be scanning it potentially if I get really lost, but I'm gonna first try to solve it without any hints except for the one that they gave us in the note. The final answer is in the sealed envelope. Do not open. That's what it says on the bottom. So this, I was correct, it's in here, so that's it. We can get into solving it. And I really like this front, it looks so cute. Now that we've read through the story and that we have all the things that we need to know, let's get solving. I'm gonna keep my glasses on because I want to be able to see all the numbers from far away. This is the regular 1,000 piece puzzle from Ravensburger. That's the size. And this is how big this puzzle piece is. Just look at that difference. You could probably fit 2 of these in one piece. Yeah, you can. 2. I decided to take a long time doing this puzzle. I probably could have done it in half the time, so about an hour, no problem. But I really took time to look at every individual piece. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time just looking through all the different things that are different between the box and the puzzle, because I think those are the key parts that are gonna be to solving the mystery. Every couple of edge pieces has a number like this. And I'm guessing that's gonna be a clue at the end, or even in the beginning. I'm assuming that these numbers are gonna have to do with something. I'm not sure what, but they did say to look at the edge, so I guess those are important to the puzzle. It kind of looks like a grid almost to me. So I'm assuming that we're gonna be somehow led to these number solutions on this grid. So I'm collecting, every time that I find a clue, I'm gonna collect that number and write it down on my sheet of paper here that I have. The Jung in the sink, that's spelled in blood, I guess. I thought it was a clue for a second, so I was trying to figure it out, but then I realized it's actually the name of the artist, and it's on here, so that's not a part of the clue, but it's just really cool how the person signed it. The first thing that I put down here is bugs, as in that's the first puzzle I'm solving. So I was looking at these symbols, and there's these beakers up here that have the same symbols, and there's kind of a hole there for something that's missing, so I'm assuming that you're wanting to find that last one. So I would say that it's the number 4 that's missing, because it has the little hairs, I guess, and those hairs are number 4. So then I connected it to the green jar up there, and that green jar is, I think, what the solution is. So I wrote down the 2 numbers that are on the same line as that jar, just in case. I decided to focus on this, I can't pronounce this word. It's probably, I don't know if it's a real word, but MEDECAMENTUM, which I don't know what that means, but I believe it has something to do with the periodic table that's shown on here. So I drew out the triangle that's above it, and I'm thinking about how it connects to the M's. I don't yet understand how to do it, so I think I'm gonna move on to the next thing, but first I'm gonna say some of the things that I've tried. So the 2 M's, and I was thinking maybe that's the center, and you have to look at the 3 in the triangle that it was making. So I was doing D, C, U, and C, O, and I was trying to figure out what that is. I got nothing from that. I did see that at the end of the M, if you go down, the little letter M, U, U, T, N, E, all of those correspond to the ending of that word. I don't know how to find the beginning of it. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's kind of confusing, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm gonna skip this one and then move on to the next one. And then at the end, if I can't figure it out, I'm probably gonna look at the clue. At first, I tried to find all these letters on the periodic table again, and I was trying to see a correlation between them, but I just didn't see one, and I was starting to think that it didn't have to do with that, because the other puzzle had to do with that. So I was like, you know what, let's try something else. So I counted up all the letters on the books as well as all the letters underneath the books, and I realized that they have the same amount. So I put a letter and a number correlating to each other with the way that they're put, and then I rearranged it to be bottom one, to have the 11 letters on the bottom, and it ended up spelling out HIPPOKRATES. I decided to Google it. I was thinking maybe, like, this is obviously a hard puzzle, so maybe I was like, maybe there's something, maybe that means something in German since it's a German puzzle, I don't know. So I Googled it and I was like, well, I looked at his date of birth and date of death. They're both 3-digit numbers, and everything else we're looking for 3-digit numbers, so I just went with it. That is the conclusion of what I came up with from that. I'm not sure if it's correct. The other part that I didn't figure out completely is the numbers. When I looked at the 10, 2, and the 8 numbers, I wasn't sure what it would mean. I did get RPH, which I again Googled, and I got that it can be a registered pharmacist, which I have no clue how that connects, I guess. Is that a hint? That's how far I got on the bookcase. So I'm gonna go on to the next thing. For these different empty beakers, I decided to use the green jar from part 1, which was number 4, and I decided to put that as my answer as well. So I just looked at what puzzle piece location was. I don't know how to solve the tubes at all. So I've decided to just take the hint after I finish the other parts. The final part is the glass hood that's broken, and obviously based on the shape you can kind of figure out the pieces. I just drew the lines of the numbers to try to figure out what it is, and I got 479, which I ended up finding in the corner. Now that I have all the numbers that I can find, I'm gonna go look for the hint. Up to now, I took about 30 to 40 minutes figuring all of this out. So it's definitely a long one. Now that it's hint time, I'm gonna just scan the barcode on here and we'll see what I get. Oh, here it is. Okay, laboratory. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh. It's highlighting. Okay, it's highlighting the things that I expected, except it's highlighting, instead of highlighting the beaker number 4, it's highlighting beaker number 1. It's also highlighting these wall tiles. So I guess I have to figure those out as well. Maybe that has something to do. Oh, and it's also highlighting the hair one, but I think that's just saying that it's to use that. So let's see. I guess they're using it in like a triangle like that. So it's not, but I'm gonna see what the first hint is. I'm gonna try doing it just with the one hint. Sometimes uppercase letters, sometimes lowercase letters is the first hint. That line followed the letters. Let me see, okay. Okay, I see it now. That was, okay, I figured it out. It's not that hard. I don't know why it took me a while to figure that out, but basically it's just either the upper or lowercase letters. That's where I got confused because I was looking only at the lowercase ones in that part, or only the uppercase. I wasn't mixing them together and I wasn't trying to do those specific ones. So I'm gonna write it down with the pen so it's easier to see. I'll try to figure out from there on my own before I continue to the next clue. I copied the AU wrong. I actually had it as AC this whole time. So I'm rewriting that part now. But then it makes sense again in the table. And then I'm assuming that the D, B, and H are the three things we're looking for. Those are where the X's are on the triangle. So I finished writing it out and I got the number 482 for the three different X positions, and I did it the same way that the triangle goes with the word, so that makes sense. Now that I'm done with this, I think I'm gonna go on to the tubes, because that was the second thing that I didn't know. And then I'm gonna go over the ones that I think I got correct and see if they are. If they're not, I'll try to fix them and then try to figure out what the final solution is. So now looking at these, so this one is done, and I will check the solution of this number 1 if it's correct after I finish the tubes. So I'm gonna go through every single one and see if I got correct. So we get the first hint for test tubes. Oh, it is for the periodic table. Okay, so I kept thinking it might be, but I was just saying, no, it's not. I guess it is. So let's look at the first hint. It says the fill level of the tubes is not correct. But what does that have to do with the periodic table? I guess we can do the thing where we switch them to letters and see if it means something. Okay, so I don't actually think it is the alphabet. Yeah, some of the letters are not in there, so I don't think it's the alphabet. I think it's just the number and maybe the color, because I'm looking at these and I see clearly all of the colors in here. The red is kind of, I guess, pink, green, and purple. So there's no yellow and there's no orange, but the other colors are there, and we have numbers. So maybe that somehow corresponds to it. So let's spell something out with that. Let's try that again. So I think it might be what position in that row it is by the number. So I'm gonna do those and then be right back. I counted it up in the table, and at first I got N-I, N-E, O, N-E, S, I, and X. And I already saw the 6 right away. So at first I was like, okay, 6. And I was trying to figure out the other thing. For some reason, it's very simple, it's very easy. I figured it out after a second. But at first, I don't know why. I guess from like the first challenge, like the one that to find in the table, for some reason I was trying to find what word you could spell out just with one of each one of those letters. So I was like, maybe it's neon. So I was like, it can be neon yellow or neon green. So I was like looking like, okay, in the green, what's 6? In this, what's 6? And then I realized it's not that. It's actually just 9 and 1. That's spelled out with the 9 is with the first 2 and then 1 is with the next 2. I don't know why I thought it was something else, but I'm very happy that I figured that out and I fixed my mistake. So the last number is 916. So now I'm gonna go back and look at to see if all my numbers were correct, what parts I got wrong of each one of these steps. And then before we open the envelope, I'm gonna attempt to figure out what to do with these numbers, because right now I have no idea. Maybe when I have all the numbers, I'm gonna write them all down on the new piece of paper and try to rearrange them and figure it out. Let's get into the clues one by one by how they numbered them and see if I got which ones I got correct and which ones I have to fix, so that we can figure out what the final solution is. So looking at the first one, the word can be found in the periodic table, starting with MM. It is only possible to move in one direction. Continue to FE, MD, IO, CA, AS, MG, TE, MN, ST, AU, CU, and then back to MM, which I got that part correctly to go in that shape. I did get one quick glimpse of it before I was reading the first clue, but I was already trying that shape out anyway because of the way that it's shaped. It's just that I wasn't looking in the right size. I was looking too small. And then the final answer, like I also did it from the alphabet, 482. Okay, so that one's correct. I'm happy that I got one right with one hint, so one for one. I guess I'm not that good at this, but it's okay. So number 1 is correct. I'm gonna circle it so that I know which ones are correct. Now let's move on to the books. This one I think I overcomplicated because it was just so confusing, but I hope I got at least part of it correctly. I don't think you have to Google it. The sequence of the numbers in the cabinet door reveals the new word when combined with 2 books. Numbers stand for the position of each corresponding letter. Oh, I got that part wrong. So I did the first part right. I got the correct word in the beginning. But then for the 10, 2, and 8, I messed that up. I was supposed to do it for those letters in that word. New positions. And the answer is incorrect then, obviously, because I looked that part up. So I'm gonna cross those out. And the correct answer for that part is 591. That's a new addition to our pieces, 591. Number 3, glass shards. And this one, it wasn't hard to figure out. It was just like a mini puzzle within the puzzle to fit together what the different pieces were. So I think it's correct. I got the number 479. And the reason I think it's correct is because I'd already found the corresponding piece here in the corner that has that number, but we will see first. Okay, the glass shards on the floor fit in the whole glass case. When inserted properly, the 3 final answers become evident. 479. Correct. Next up, we have flasks. They call them flasks, I call them beakers, but I guess that makes the flasks make more sense. I don't know why I kept calling them beakers before, it's fine. Well, already looking at this photo, I kind of think I messed up because I had the wrong one picked here, but also I got the correct green one. And for me, like I said, I separated them into 2 different ones. I called them bugs and beaker. So I guess bugs and beaker is 1, and it's called flasks, number 4. Okay, so let's go through the hints for that. Oh, it's a pathogen. Oh, 1 flask is missing in the sequence of different flasks. The missing color, the missing pathogen, and the missing shape can be found with the 5 color jars, with the 5 petty dishes, and with the 5 flasks. Roman numbers corresponding objects reveal the final answer from left to right. The missing color has number 4. That's true. I got that, the green one. The missing pathogen has number 4. Oh, okay, so it's the missing color. That makes, well, I kind of figured that out too, that it was green and there wasn't any green there, but I guess I got that part wrong. But I guess the final sequence is dependent. The final number is those different Roman numerals together. So I got definitely that part wrong. The first one is 4, the second digit is 4, and then the final missing flask is number 1. So it's 411. But I'm just curious why the first, is it the shape? I guess it's the missing shape of the flask. So all of the other shapes of the flasks are there except for this one, so that's why it's number 1. And the sequence is 411. Okay, well, that part I definitely missed. I didn't notice the shapes of the flasks, but for some reason it didn't click in my mind that I was looking through the 4 digits for each one of those. But that makes more sense than what I did. Apparently, I've been using those coordinate things and I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing, but I was not. So it's good to know that I've been doing the wrong thing. I think it would be nice if they told us that the edges are only for the end part and that the puzzle, it's fine. I just misinterpret it. Number 5, test tubes. And I think that I got this right because at first I got it wrong and then I figured out that I got it wrong. So that part, I'm not gonna read the whole solution. Those are long. Okay. And finally, the one I completely missed. Finally, the one I didn't even think was a puzzle. I think part of it was that it's also drawn on the box and none of the other ones are, so I just assumed it's not a puzzle. Okay, let's go through. Let's do the first one to see what it's gonna be, and then I might solve it by myself. We'll see. The lower tiles fit over the upper tiles. Blue border. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the second hint because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Okay, dark tiles stand for hollow spaces. Hollow spaces of what? You know what? I'm just gonna go through all the. Okay, I'm gonna read the last hint and then I'm gonna attempt to do it myself. Or fine. You know what? I'm not even gonna say attempt. I'm gonna find the last part myself after I read the final hint, before I see the solution. The first number is an 8. Okay, so if, you know what, I'm gonna actually physically take out, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say I'm gonna physically take out the puzzle pieces, I'm not. So I'm gonna just draw it out. So I redrew these tiles on a piece of paper so that I could see kind of where this stuff could possibly be leading. And I think I figured it out, potentially. So at first I only drew the 2 lines that had the blacked out pieces, and on those I was just kind of like, I don't see, because remember I read the hint that the first number is 8, so I was like, how can it be 8? Like, what is this? So then I redrew them again with the 3 rows or columns, with the 3 columns, and I figured out that if you look at them as 3 separate pieces, the first number would be 8 because both of those are blanked out one piece, so 9 minus 1 is 8. And then for the second one, because of the same logic, I got 7. But then on the third one, it's a little confusing because so my guess is 871. Now I'm gonna check on the hints and see if I'm correct. And then that is not the answer. That was so... Okay, so the way I was doing it is wrong. It's fine. Okay, let's see what it says. Tiles in slightly different colors are placed on top of each another. I think it's trying to say each other. The blue borders are also placed on top of each other. The dark tiles stand for the hollow spaces for the corresponding numbers. The corresponding numbers are 8, 3, and 6. Okay, I'll look a little more into it and try to figure out. If not, I'm just gonna take it as it is. It's really about how you arrange it, because at first the thing I was doing made sense to me and I couldn't figure out how they did it. And it's just so easy, I just didn't see it. If you can see on here, I drew them out how they were arranged over there. And if you look at them, it's 8, 3, 6. That took way too much drawing and figuring out. I think this one's supposed to be one of the easier ones and I just couldn't get it. It took a lot of visualizing and figuring out. Yeah, now we have all the numbers and I will find them in the puzzle and see what I'm supposed to do with them. I already see the solution. I've been taking out every single one of these little pieces that it says. And it's really cute, actually. I'm gonna show you. So this is one of the pieces. And if you just take it out, I'm gonna put it here for now. So I took out all the pieces, and as you can see, It's very visible that you can just kind of combine them like, oh, not like this. And that's so cute. You make a little bottle and then you have the needle because you have to inject, because if you see here, no more time for tests. You need to finalize the vaccine and use it on yourself. So you get a little antidote, or I guess it's a cure, and a little needle to inject. That's so adorable. And then I take this and I get my antidote. Now that we know what the solution is, let's open the envelope. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Oh. When I was filming the solution, I forgot to add one piece. Where is it? I forgot to add this piece. I was like, why did they just give you the syringe part? I mean, not the syringe, the needle part, not the syringe part. They don't do that. They actually give you the full thing right here. The moment I saw the solution, I was confused for a second. But yeah, it makes sense. I just forgot one of the pieces from the puzzle. Beautiful answer. I love the way they executed it. That was close. The right medication and syringe have been found. You'll feel better now. If you want to see me solve another escape puzzle, let me know which one, like put a name of it down or something so that I can get it and try it. These were super fun. And also in the future, I'll be doing this collection, which is the Alphabet Murder Puzzle series. So I'm gonna try doing, this is the first one in the series. It's called A's for Arson. So I will be doing that in the future, and that's gonna be another series on this channel. So I'm excited that I'm starting 2 different series soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.